In this episode, we talk about the worst part of property and two other questions I've forgotten. What were they? He forgot as well.
Stop! This is Aiden Reese Heron, and you're watching Property Geek TV episode 27, 31, 33. Okay, it's reverse engineer what you want to achieve. So where do you want to get to? What do you want to achieve? Win-win on both sides, right? And that's what business should be. I'm here to provide value to you, so this is very, very serious, okay? Question of the day. Question of the day. Question of the day. Maybe? Nah.
This is Aiden Reese Heron, and you're watching Property Geek TV episode 45. And this is Josh. We're not going to try and do the mixed entry again. So we decided to do a third episode. Well, I'm doing a third episode. Josh is doing a second episode in one day because we feel like we're on a roll. And we're going to try not to moan or wander off on such a tangent this time and get our standard 3 questions into one episode. Do you want to pick a question? Jokes. No, I'm joking.
What's the worst part about a real estate business?
I think it's what we were talking about earlier today. For me, for me personally anyway, the most frustrating part about a real estate business or a property business is, I'm talking about investing specifically and developing, is that it is a slow burner. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier today, right? Is like, you know, it's a vehicle to generate wealth over a long period of time that is fairly passive. By the way, there's no such thing as completely passive income. You have to generate it from somewhere. So like something has to happen to generate the income. And the only vague case of passive income would be if you were born into money and you had shed loads of assets and you never had to work because your family is super rich. But someone put the effort in at some point. So, different story. But for me, it's a slow burner. It's the most sensible choice, I think, as an investment class because it's bricks and mortar, it's big, it's tangible to investors, it's stable. The fluctuations in the market are less so than like the stock market, less volatile, except for 2008 because loads of people piled their money in and it was a terrible, terrible time for a lot of people. I don't think the crash will happen again as big, but it will happen eventually. But it's the most sensible investment. But because it's so big and the investments are so high and the returns are over a prolonged period of time, it's a very slow burn. So like if you want to make money quickly, it's possible, but it takes time still. Like I think it's a lot of time in the background, and the people that blow up like really quickly overnight, like they get one really big deal and it goes really well, and then that accelerates them and propels them on to other things. Like they still probably put in a lot of work in the background for nothing for a long period of time before that happened. So like the overnight success thing is not necessarily true.
Overnight successes don't exist, and like a lot of times you get the odd person who, you know,
well, like they're not real.
like the odd person who actually gets the overnight success. But usually, what you find with overnight successes is they've had a long period before that of like failure,
100 more times.
Up to the line, and then it went. So yeah, like overnight successes tend not to exist. It's a really squeaky chair.
Yeah, I know. There's like sorry about the noise. There's a good graphic, I don't know if you trace, like, and it's like an entrepreneur's journey or a businessman's journey, and it's like, yeah, this is a really great idea. Oh, this is really hard. Yay, something's working. Oh, it didn't work. Yay, something's working. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. Oh, shit. Yeah. And then it just keeps doing that, and eventually you like oscillate up to the top. The pitfalls change as your business grows. The successes change as your business grows, but that whole process happens consistently. It'd be quite interesting. Science getting in the way. be quite interesting to see if the frequency is consistent.
Yeah.
Like you go up a little bit, but it'd be interesting to see if you normalise it, if the frequency of those pitfalls is fairly consistent. I think it probably is.
I'm not sure.
Because like most people go through that process anyway in general life. Like you go through ups and downs in your life now if you're not in business already. So like it's not really any different to running a business. Like the ups and downs side of it of life.
Yeah, but I suppose in business people get really, really low when bad things happen in business.
Yeah.
Right. So they go through ups and downs, but I think it'd be a lot more exaggerated when you put that into a business environment.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, probably. But people do still oscillate. They still oscillate. It's just natural, the natural process. They just oscillate. So for me, it's a slow burn. What's it for you?
More specifically, is first of all, if you're starting.
Sources.
No, if you're starting, well, yeah, there's two parts of this question.
Yeah.
So when you're starting out a property, you don't know where to start, and you're trying to get your foot through the door. It's getting people to take you seriously. When you have no prior experience and your credibility.
Yeah.
That is a big pain in the arse.
Yeah.
The way that I'd say get about that is try and connect with somebody who's already doing it and do something together to leverage their experience and their credibility.
Yep.
If that's possible.
Mhm.
But that was a pain for me anyway when we were starting. Another thing, if you are a little bit further down the line, is dealing with agents irritates me. That's one of the most irritating things with me. Is like, if you haven't done a lot of property, you just got to get through your head that you're going to have to call an agent 10 times in order to get them to do anything at all. Oh, he's not in the office.
And that's on a good day.
Yeah,
10 times on a good day.
There's one deal that I'm trying to get through at the moment, and it's a big ticket plot of land. So you think they'd want to sell it, right?
Commercial development site.
Right? So you think they want to sell it and be a nice commission, but this guy, I've called him 4 times every day, and he's not got back to me. I'm thinking, what's going on? And
what is wrong with you?
yeah,
That's what you just want to do. You just want.
And
Oh,
it's so
damn
easy to get disheartened when people are just not getting back to you and you have to follow up people all the time. You don't want to think like, when I started, I didn't want to irritate them. I didn't want to keep calling them and they'll go, oh, that guy just won't go away. But you just actually have to do that because they'll never speak to you. They never get back to you. It's really, really irritating. So yeah, that's my pet peeves for property real estate. What is the most cost-effective way to add value to a property?
Well, that's a good question.
We don't really do many flips.
No.
So
The strategy we use is hold, so develop to hold. So that's tricky.
that's not really one that I have much experience in.
I don't know. I would say, right, it would potentially depend on the area. Obviously, building, immediate response would be adding building, adding genuine building, an extension, building a story on top of the garage, building another floor on top of your building, digging down, adding space is probably the best way to add value. But the way that I would probably counter that variable is to do the maths on because it depends what you mean, what's the best way to add value.
Most cost-effective way.
Yeah, is it the most cost-effective way? Because if it's the most cost-effective way, the most cost-effective way to add value might be to just give the whole place a lick of paint.
Yeah.
Because your return for time and capital might be best spent just painting the place and putting some trinkets in there to sell it quickly. Alternatively, you might want to spend the extra money to do a full-on extension or full-on conversion, whatever it is, because you add space, and then although it's a little bit longer, the total gross return as a percentage might be better. That one threw us.
That was-
They got us. They got us. Question of the day. What's the worst part about property for you?